This is Boxing Tickets, and we are delighted to be joined once again with Shauna O'Keeffe. Shauna, I guess the last time we'd spoke, obviously you're yet to make your professional debut. You're obviously now 1-0 as a pro. You've started Christmas out of the way and everything else. Do you feel like you're now a professional boxer now that's out of the way?
Yeah, I do. I still feel like a baby. Like when they say every day is a school day, is actually an understatement. Every day I'm learning. Every day there's something new. The more and more I'm training, the more sessions I'm doing with Kevin, the more it's humbling me and making me realize how much I don't know about the sport. But it also makes me really excited to get to where I want to go because, like, obviously, I've only been doing it about 12 weeks, so it makes me really excited what the future is going to hold, considering what I did in my pro debut. And I'm so early on in the game, so I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Unfortunately, obviously, as you found out very early on in your professional career, whenever fight news is sort of announced, and obviously you're breaking fights and everything else. Like I think you've had a couple of fights falling through now. Obviously, one in particular, obviously last weekend. Is it hard? I guess obviously now it's happened more than once, but obviously with the weekend past, people are losing out in flights and hotels and things like that. It's a brutal sport, this professional boxing game. I guess probably in some ways you're having your eyes opened up very early on, obviously, and unfortunately that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, so to speak.
Believe it or not, I was warned about all of this before I turned over. My coach, Martin Fennessy, which is amazing, he warned me of every bit of this. He told me not have my expectations high, that it's going to be really hard. I'm going to be hustling and bustling for the first few fights. But if I really want to, I'll work hard enough and I'll get there. And it's true. The hardest thing that I had to deal with during the week is the fact that people lost out on flights and accommodation. There's so many people. I had 70 odd coming from Ireland. Like, I busted my ass selling tickets all over the Christmas to get as many people there, because obviously they're more valuable to promoters when they see that you can sell tickets and drum up the support that you can drum up. And I actually did it for February the 3rd. And when it all fell through, it actually, I didn't even care about me. The fights will come, the fights will go. It was just the supporters. Don't really want to be letting them down too early, because you let them down once, then twice, three times. How long are they going to stay around? And that'll be the worry for the boxer, for the fighter. But thankfully, with the support that I have between friends and family in Ireland and the UK, everybody was absolutely amazing. Thanks to them, that's what got me through it, and just made me realize this is what I'm going to be up against. And I'm really glad that I'm learning it early on, because it'll create such a thick skin for me that nothing will faze me and nothing will knock me. And I think it's just ways of testing you to see how much you really want it. Because as everybody knows, my career hasn't been smooth sailing, and I'm only in it like 3 or 4 months. Anybody else would just be like, nah, I'm not doing this. This is too hard. And I'm like, come on, what else do you have for me? Bring on more. I don't really care, because no matter how hard it's going to be, I believe I'm going to get a breakthrough. I believe that my time will come. I just have to persevere and I just have to keep going.
I think it's true what they say. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And obviously, as you're learning very early on, there's nothing easy about the sport of boxing. Obviously, it's the toughest sport in the world, the most dangerous sport in the world as well. And when you're finding these lessons out very early on in the sport, it's only going to lead to bigger and better things for you. But I guess it's that age old saying that people will sort of be cautious now of when they, unfortunately, the earlier you book something, the cheaper it is. But obviously, as people's going to realize now, they're going to go, I maybe have to wait a wee bit longer. Thankfully, from the south of Ireland, the London, it's not as dear as it would be, say, from Belfast to London. So at least the flights are still cheap. But in some ways, people will go, are you sure, Sean? Are you definitely on this card? Is the fight definitely happening? But you could turn up to the weigh-in and your opponent might not show up. That's the nature of the sport.
I know. I told everybody anyway. Everybody got warned that this potentially could happen. So I was like, pay for the security on, like, if you need. All you do is pay an extra few euros between the hotel and the flight. So if you do have to cancel it or change it last minute, you can. So from now on, that will literally be highlighted in case something like this does happen. But a lot of my friends and family still came over to London on Saturday, and we had a ball. We had a ball. I got to spend really valuable time with friends and family over there, and we had a great time, and everybody was happy out. It wasn't a waste of time, and they wanted to come over to me for me. So it made it all worthwhile. It didn't really matter the fact we didn't get the fight. Don't get me wrong, it would have been lovely being 2-0 today. But these things happen. I firmly believe everything happens for a reason. And with everything that went wrong all last week, there was a reason for me not to fight on Saturday. And that's just the way I see it.
But I guess obviously you probably watched your debut performance, things back. I know you had sort of said going in you wanted to make a statement. Where you were probably obviously have seen a lot of that obviously fighting before, but she'd come off a couple of she'd taken a couple of people's unbeaten records. It maybe took you around or so to sort of get adjusted to things, but like she took a lot of punishment in that fight.
To be honest, a lot of things before the fight, I can't even explain it yet. I was physically prepared to get in that ring, but it wasn't mentally. And that's been straight up. There's no point sugarcoating it, because people will tell you this thing and that thing about their pro debut. I had a different experience. Walking up to the ring, like, lads, I was supposed to do a ring walk and I didn't. Like, we had this whole thing planned, and I've seen the ring and I beeline for the ring. I was like, just get me in the ring and just get it done. I've never had a feeling like that in my entire career. I'm one of these people that just loves fighting. I love to get in. I love a brawl. Everybody knows it because I'm an exciting fighter. I love it. But this one time, don't know why, but I just wanted to get in and get it done. So don't get me wrong, it did take a round. I was a bit cagey, but she turned up to fight me. She turned up to take my head off. So like, it was great to get that. I think I handled everything really well. Like, if everybody knew exactly what was going on outside of that ring before I got in the ring and knew everything, they would be like shaking my hand that I got through it, and I performed the way I did and I got the W. So regardless of how bad the performance was, don't get me wrong, it wasn't my best performance, nowhere near as good as I can be. But I got through it. I won the rounds. I got the W, and I took her off her winning streak. She's been in with everybody, and now I'm ranked 20 in the world after taking a gamble to get in with a good girl. And I started as a 6-rounder. So I think I've ticked a lot of boxes with that pro debut, to be honest with you, and the amount of messages I got as well. I am an exciting fighter to watch. I bite in the gum shields and I don't stop. Bit much, but what can you do?
Well, with everything you were through, and obviously fight week and everything for that, but was it probably the right opponent you had on the night? That obviously it was someone that was there to take your head off, to put you back into the zone. If you, as we see in the male, more predominantly in the male boxing, obviously, that sort of debut sort of role, it's someone that's maybe they're going to get out of there in a round or so. If you maybe had someone that wasn't there to take your head off, you might not have performed maybe the way, do you know what I mean? You might not have performed the way you did on the night. You were having they put everything into it to get everything out of it.
I believe it was one of the best tests I could have got, because I got a really, really tough opponent very early on. So now I know what to expect in the next few fights. You're not going to get a fight like that until like 4th, 5th, maybe 6th fight in. And I got it on my first one. So if I'm able to get through my first one, the rest of the fights are going to be a breeze. And the difference with the rest of my fights throughout my career, I'm going to get progressively better every single time I step in the ring. So to be able to do that, my first fight, my first 6-rounder, it'll just condition me and it'll develop me and it'll get me ready for every single fight that's going to come. So I don't really care. But I know you can't have all the fights hard. But a fight like that, I learned more than what I would have if I went in and I knocked her out with a right hook in the first round. Do you know what I mean? I enjoyed every bit of it, don't get me wrong, it was tough. But we got the 6 rounds and I'm delighted. I got through them, and there's nothing more I can say about it. All I can do is say I learned a really valuable lesson getting an opponent like that.
And obviously your fight that was supposed to be last weekend has now been rescheduled, I believe, for the 24th of February in York Hall as well.
Yeah, so I made a executive decision, me and my coach, this morning. So I have another card, which is massive, and I need everybody in Ireland out loud and proud to support. So I'm going to be on a card in Galway the 16th of March, and that's locked in 100%. It should be announced in the next few days, if not the next week. So myself and Kevin made a valid decision that we're not going to go ahead with the 24th. The 16th of March is more important, as people need to see that I can drum up support and I can literally lift the roof off a ceiling inside in Ireland. I need to show that I can drum up as much support as any other person inside in Ireland. So we're focusing on the 16th of March, which is in Salt Hill Leisure World in Galway. So I really need people out loud and proud in Ireland to support me. So 24th is off.
So that's off. So you're going to be fighting on the Thomas O'Toole Healthline McAnelney Promotions card in Leisureland. I was there last year for Kieran Malloy's debut in Leisureland in Salt Hill. Special arena. I guess in some ways this will probably feel like your professional debut again. Obviously fighting at home, a lot of Irish people going mad, going buck daft. You know, you're probably the nerves and stuff will kick in again. You know, I'm sure you don't want another thing where you beeline straight for the ring to get your call, but who's to say when you're hearing people singing and dancing and the crack, you know, that you'll be straight out there again?
I won't, and this is why I was in a rush to get in on February the 3rd. Like I got home the Sunday after my pro debut, the Friday, right? And I rang the promoter, TM14, myself on the Monday. And I told him, I know you have a date on February the 3rd, and I want you to put me on it because I feel like I need a do-over. So I know everything that's to be expected, and I know everything that's going to happen now for my fight for the 16th, between the preparation, the ring walk, and everything that went wrong. I have now like got in line. So like even when it comes to my warm-up, it's I'm paying for my S&C coach that's here in Clonmel to come and be part of my team. And he's going to do my mobility, my flexibility, and get me properly prepped mentally and physically. So then all Kevin has to do is do the pads with me. So that was something that wasn't covered for my pro debut. So I wasn't properly warmed up, mobility and flexibility and all that. So I'm ticking all the right boxes. So I'll be mentally, physically prepared, and I know everything that's going to happen for March the 16th. There will be a proper ring walk. I will be using my ring walk music that I have prepared since my pro debut. So it will be literally like a do-over. Only this time I know what to expect, and even better, I'll be loud and proud in front of my hometown. So the last big crowd I was in front of, it was my hometown. I headlined in the Park Hotel. Don't get me wrong, it was only like 350 people. So like I get anything near that in March, and even more, March the 16th, it will be like a night I'll never forget. And it will like it'll be my pro debut in Ireland. And honest to God, I actually can't wait for it. Can't wait to be able to fight in front of my home country, in front of my own friends and family, because everybody wants to be out loud and proud to support me. Everybody does.
And I guess in some ways, obviously, it's saving people money. Obviously, when it's, you know, it's in a car journey away, they're not having to get on a plane, they're not having to go to hotels and things like that. They may obviously stay around the Galway area for the card, but they could obviously, you know, it's going to lead to a lot more people when they see they can't sort of, you know, I don't want to get the boat, I don't want to get the plane. It's sort of down the road from sort of Clonmel to Galway. So, you know, in some ways, it should only lead to a lot more people coming to support you on the night.
Yeah, there's a few people I've been talking to since I've been home and everything. They're even organising buses, so they'll travel up and they'll travel back. And a lot of people are, even I have people that are already after booking flights and accommodation from the UK coming over, which is amazing. Even the support system I have in the UK already is just phenomenal, to be honest with you. And I'm only on the scene a very short time, so it's only going to grow and get bigger from here. Every single fight will just get bigger and bigger, I believe so.
I just obviously want to cast your mind away from yourself a moment. Obviously, I guess with Katie Taylor, obviously now she's decided that she's keeping the belts at 140, and she's obviously vacated a couple of belts at 135. It's sort of giving everybody an opportunity now to win sort of belts, but it's too early for you as such yet to obviously to fight for world title. But when you're obviously looking at other fighters there, and you know, Rhiannon Dixon and Caroline Dubois, you've obviously sparred and stuff with as well. it could lead to opportunities down the line for you, because your plan by the end of 2024 is to fight for the European title. So if Rhiannon Dixon, obviously, I'm not sure she'll have to vacate the belt before becoming, fighting for a world title, or it's going to be afterwards. But that's music to your ears that she's going to fight for a world title. It means a belt that you want by the end of this year is going to be vacant.
Yeah, 100%. That was the thing that myself and Kevin have been looking at for 2024, because realistically, with the way I'm climbing through the ranking system and stuff, there's no reason why it cannot happen by the end of 2024. And especially with Mariana Dixon now going for the IBF world title. She wins that, it vacates straight away. So there it is up for whoever wants it, pretty much. So I fight in March the 16th, which I will, and I'll fight an 8-rounder. I'll win that, become 2-0. My ranking system's now 20 in the world already, so wherever that puts me, and then I'll go again very soon after that. So I don't see why there's no reason why I can't be fighting for a European title by between September to December. There's no reason why I can't be world champion by 2024. The way the belts have opened up, it's opened up a lot of windows for a lot of people, including myself, which is great. My goal when I started this was to be European champion in 2024, and that's exactly what I plan to do.
And I guess, I believe I'm right in saying this, that obviously winning the European title, I don't think a female's ever become a European champion before. So, in the last interview I'd done there, Randall Kakachi, he's obviously looking at creating history and becoming the first male super featherweight world champion. You could become the first female to become a European champion as a female professional as well. So that'd be a nice tick box exercise for the future.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely amazing. And yeah, if I even did it in 4 to 6 fights, it'd be even bigger.
It's when you sort of look back at sort of your decision to turn pro, there, I guess when you're still very early on in your career, but is there sort of wee things are now starting to change where you sort of planned at the start where you're going, I want to do this, I want to do this. Are you seeing with pro boxing very quickly that you sort of can't go too far ahead? You can't plan too far ahead because things can change overnight.
Yeah, I'm starting to slow down, put it that way, and I'm not running before I can walk anymore. Like when I first turned over, it was like, oh my God, get me this, get me this, get me fighting, get me here, get me there. And it's just not the way it can go. Like I need time in the gym. Like Kevin's been amazing, lads. He's a phenomenal coach. I'm blessed with him. He knows his stuff, and he's been saying it to me since I turned over. Shauna, you need to slow down. Shauna, we need time in the gym. And learning and sparring, more time with him, rather than going from camp to camp and fight to fight. It's not feasible. And I want longevity in this sport. And if I keep going the way I'm going, I won't have longevity. So I'm trying to rein it in. But the best thing about it, I'm learning. And at the end of the day, people can't tell you what to do. You have to decide to do it yourself. And I'm learning now, and it's a good thing I'm learning really early on. But yeah, I'm learning to listen a lot more. I'm learning to listen to my body more, and I'm learning to slow down. But I'll always be the student, and I know that, and that's the best thing about it. But I'm willing to learn because I don't care what it takes. I want to be world champion. I want to become the best. I want to do it all. So yeah, anyone that's thinking of turning, or anybody that's new to it, I tell them to listen to the people around you, because they have the knowledge. You don't know it yourself, and that's me straight up.
I'll leave with one final one. Obviously, I know you said you obviously want the European title by the end of 2024. I'm sure there's another thing you'd want. That the last time we spoke, you were singing and dancing and going mad at Cameron Taylor 2, as it was. Obviously, the trilogy fight looks like it's set for May, June sort of time. I don't want to sort of give specifics, and then people book things and dates change, but I'm guessing you'd love to be on that trilogy card.
So the last time I spoke to you was before my pro debut, and Katie Taylor and Chantal Cameron were on it, and I really wanted to be on it, which was probably a bit like head up in the air thinking you're going to get on that when you haven't even turned over. But this time, by the time they fight for that trilogy, I should be a professional by about 8-9 months. I'll be 2-0. There's no reason why they can't have another Irish woman at lightweight where Katie Taylor was. Yeah, it makes sense to have me on it. I know the lads, the Dublin lads are always on it, but bring another woman of your own, another Irish fighter on the card. I want to be on it. It's one of my biggest dreams to be on one of those cards, to be under Katie Taylor. It'd be just amazing. So yes, that is my big thing this year, as well as become European champion. I want the Katie Taylor card at the end, at the summertime, 100%.
Definitely. Well, look, obviously, I'll thank you obviously very much for your time as always. Obviously, I can't wait to obviously see you in action live in March in Galway. But obviously, I'm sure we'll no doubt chat between now and then. But thanks as always for your time, Shauna, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Cheers, Shauna. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.